For you this hour, a criminal investigation has been opened into Turkish opposition MP Eren Erdem. That's after his interview with RT. He could face charges of treason. He told RT that Islamic State in Syria received material to make deadly sarin gas via Turkey. The MP accused the government of a cover-up after the case was abruptly closed.
Chemical weapon materials were brought to Turkey and put together in ISIL camps in Syria, which was known as the Iraqi Al-Qaeda at the time. We have recordings to confirm this. A public prosecutor opened an investigation which led to those involved being detained. A week later, another public prosecutor was assigned and all the detainees were released. They left Turkey, crossing the Syrian border. The phone recordings in the indictment showed all the details of how the shipment was going to be made, from how it was prepared, to the content, the labs and the source of the materials, which trucks were going to be used, all dates, etc. From A to Z, everything was discussed and recorded. Despite all of this evidence, the suspects were released.
RT wasn't the only channel to pick up on the story. Eren Erdem had previously spoken to other media outlets on the issue. He even presented his evidence to the Turkish parliament.
A prosecutor said that some people in Turkey have contacts with the terrorist organization ISIL, supply and transport the key ingredient of sarin.
But it was after our broadcast that the story began to spread, and the MP even received hundreds of death threats. We're planning to speak to RT correspondent Daniel Bushell very shortly to get more on this story. Now, the case in question was opened in 2013. In August of that year, a sarin attack on a Damascus suburb killed scores of civilians. The attack was pinned on the Syrian government, with Turkey among those pointing the finger at Assad.
جراء استهداف النظام.
Eren Erdem believes that the materials involved in that deadly chemical attack near Damascus may have been smuggled from Turkey.
There's a high probability that it was carried out with materials shipped through Turkey. It was claimed regime forces were behind it. But in my opinion, examining the dates and the indictment, the Syrian government didn't have sarin gas. It was the attackers who possessed it. As far as I understand, this case was closed just to place guilt on the Syrian government. The shipment is through Turkey, but all basic materials were purchased in Europe. Western sources know very well who carried out the sarin gas attack in Syria. They know that these people are working for Al-Qaeda. The West has been hypocritical over the whole situation.
A few months before the sarin attack near the Syrian capital, there were reports of Turkish authorities arresting members of an Al-Qaeda-linked group in possession of sarin. When Moscow followed up on the allegations, Ankara dismissed them, saying that the seized agent was simply antifreeze. Now, for more on this story, we can speak to RT correspondent Daniel Bushell, who joins us live now. Daniel, as we understand at this moment, a criminal investigation has been launched into the Turkish MP. What more details do we have?
So, Eren Erdem refused to show us the evidence he'd collected, fearing it would amount to revealing state secrets and be considered treason. And this is what's happening now. The Ankara Chief Prosecutor's Office has opened an investigation into Erdem for, quote, treason. He's in opposition deputy from the Republican People's Party, but in order for criminal proceedings to begin, he has to be stripped of his parliamentary immunity first, so Erdem may be prosecuted over treason if Parliament votes to remove his parliamentary immunity. Now, Erdem defended himself by saying that he's been subject to a smear campaign over statements made in Parliament. In that statement, Erdem went on to say that he's been receiving death threats from social media users on Twitter following his interview here on RT.
OK, the very latest information there. Of course, we will be closely following the story of Eren Erdem. Daniel Bushell there bringing us the latest information.